welcome to episode 76 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews, the podcast where we take a random movie from Metacritic's all-time movie list. This is Colin.
And this is Niall.
And this is random movie 14,240, The Chronicles of Riddick from 2004. It has a Metascore of 38, but ouchies, and a user score of 7.2 though, so it always sort of points towards a cultish type of movie that fans enjoy rather than the critics enjoying the mechanics of it, I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't have to be, technically brilliant to be an enjoyable romp.
That's a good way of putting it, because I enjoyed this movie, actually.
Same as.
Well, I don't know what that says about us if we both enjoyed it.
We're uncouth.
Uncouth. Yeah. Ran for 1 hour 59, which I didn't really feel that much of a ponderous journey.
For this type of movie, that is long.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you say, didn't feel that long. There's a lot of sections to it, but they all flow into each other quite well. And nothing keeps you too bored. There's no 25 minutes of exposition.
Yeah, but there is exposition kind of sprinkled throughout.
Yeah, but it's in between Vin Diesel knifing people in the eyeball,
Yeah, and the night and the dark and the black and the white and the glasses on, glasses off.
He loves putting his glasses on and off.
Yeah, it's like me trying to read things closer to my face now.
That's what it's exactly what I was. I wrote this down. I'm like Vin Diesel here because I was watching the movie with my glasses on. And I was writing things down. Oh, glasses off. God damn it.
I know. It's so annoying.
Age turns you into Riddick.
Without the superpowers.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you just said there reminded me, like, when you knew what he would have to do halfway through the movie. So you knew it would have to be Vaco and then the Lord Marshal, and he'd have to take them in order, basically. Which he doesn't actually. But,
no, he doesn't.
Yeah.
It's kind of a twist, but it's not a smart movie. It doesn't keep you guessing. And because there's a minor twist at the end, you don't give a damn there's a minor twist at the end. It delivers in what you expect from it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I didn't mind the way it ended. It was just boom, fade to black. All right, cool.
I had a sneaky suspicion the whole way through this movie, Dame Judi Dench had no idea what was going on.
I read that she didn't really know, but she had a great time.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah, I think Vin Diesel was like, I'm not doing this unless you can get Judi Dench to play the
really
ethereal. Yeah,
she was decent in it as well. It was an unusual role for her.
Quite unusual, but if anybody can play a wispy non-entity, it would be Judi Dench.
It was an interesting. What's her name? Arian. Arian. It's quite a on the nose name for an air-based elemental.
True that.
My name is Airhead, the air person.
From Ariel, and I use Ariel in my clothes.
A bit of an airhead.
Yeah. The budget was 105 to 120 million, but the box office was 115.8. So, ouchies.
So breaking even, but you don't want to be breaking even.
No, we have. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think Vin Diesel is kind of a fan of the IP, so he's been kind of pushing the next two movies as well, and the fourth movie is in production as we speak.
Oh, yeah. We can talk about the next one at the end, and you can tell us what happens in the next movie, because we'll probably not randomly get it ever.
The next one.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, so I don't.
I have. It doesn't add a lot to the lore of Riddick, but we can briefly touch on it.
Yeah, the main cast members who actually do a good job. We've got Colin Fior plays Lord Marshal. Tandy Newton plays Dame Vaco. Carl Urban from The Boys. I really wanted
to say it's a 4-letter C word.
No, I want him to come into the room and go, oi, you bastards. Let's have it. I just finished the current season of The Boys, so I was.
Don't tell me anything about that. I'm only halfway through.
I had him in my memory, my core memory. And then we have Alexa Davalos playing Kira. Was it the same actress from the first movie or no?
I should have checked, but I don't believe so.
I don't think so, because we can check that out as we're talking. Actually, I'll check it out when I pose you a question that you can analyze like a good student. Why would somebody say this is Conan in space?
Conan in space. Well, because he runs around like
in space.
He's kind of a barbarian, a sort of approach to everything. He doesn't really overthink things, and he solves most of his problems with a knife or a sword or a gun. Or he's not the most emotionally available individual.
Doesn't say a lot either.
No, he does not say a lot. No, he's a bit more. His character's a bit more nuanced, I guess, than Conan's, but not much.
What about plotline wise?
The fact that he starts his life as a prisoner.
Pretty much. So what people are getting at is the Lord Marshal is pretty much like the dude in Conan, kills everybody, kills his family, kills everything that's belonged to him, and then...
Oh, yeah. Sure, I missed that. God damn it.
Yeah, the movie is all pretty much him going to fight
Getting
him.
revenge, yeah, but revenge. He doesn't. The big difference is he doesn't start off looking for revenge. He has no real interest in going after the Lord Marshal until he kills. Right, even when he kills his friend, the Imam, ably played by Mr. Keith David, aka Mary's dad in Something About Mary.
I didn't know that.
Anyway, he's got a loose connection to him from the first movie. He's one of the two people that survived with Riddick from the first movie. So he's got some form of, he saves his life, and he kind of feels like he owes him a bit. So he gets killed, and he's annoyed at the man that kills him, not the man that controls him. So he doesn't give a damn about the Lord Marshal until the Lord Marshal pokes at him too much. Doesn't let him walk away. Bit of a mistake.
Interesting that both Conan and Riddick end up on the throne, sitting on the throne.
Yeah, and they're quite surprised by it.
I'm a king now. Yeah, so Alexa Davalos did not play the girl in the first movie.
No, I didn't think so.
No. It's an interesting relationship. I'll ask you later on when we get to that scene what the deal was in the first movie. We start off basically with Judi Dench with doing a little voiceover telling us the sort of backstory. We've got the Necromongers pillaging the universe, basically. Yeah, we have the Lord Marshal. Their religion basically says clean everybody out and you'll get to the Underverse.
Yeah, everybody has to be converted or killed. Then you're in the Underverse.
Yeah, so we see it's nice visually, but obviously it's barbaric and genocidal. And what's worse than genocidal? What's when you kill a planet? Patricidal? No, that's when you kill your dad or something.
Terracide? I don't know.
Must be something. Anyway.
I don't think it's been
invented
yet. We haven't actually managed to kill an entire planet.
Yeah.
Give us time.
Slowly.
We're working on it.
Slowly but surely. It's called climate change, I guess.
Yeah.
So
fake news.
Yeah, so we see the Necromongers doing their thing, and we then get to a Riddick, Mr. Diesel, being chased by some mercs.
Mercs, yep.
Yeah, mercenaries. And I heard that Tombs... No. Vroom, vroom. They wouldn't have lasted on the ridges that they're jumping across.
That's true.
I heard that Tombs, the lead merc here, was the son of the merc in the first movie. I don't know if that was mentioned in the dialogue, though.
No, I think that connection between Tombs is the first and third movie, or unless I'm going crazy.
Don't know.
Tombs, or is Tombs the guy?
Tombs is the dude, the main dude here chasing him with his crew.
Yeah, no, there's a Johns in the first movie and a Johns in the third movie, and they're both mercenaries.
Okay. Well,
there's a dad and son sort of scenario there, but I don't see a Tombs in. Well, I can check. I haven't checked the third movie.
Yeah.
a lot of family connections between movies. If there's also another connection.
Oh.
No, there isn't.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a small little chase scene where we get to see that obviously Riddick is more skillful at evading capture and kicking the shit out of people.
Yeah, he does a lot of John Wick style, coming out of the shadows and just offing people without them even noticing it.
Yeah. It was interesting that one of the mercs, when he kind of realized he was in deep crap, said,
Deep
Jesus. He's like, oh, this religion is in this world too, I guess.
Well, the planet of Helios 6 had many religions, including Islam. So I'm assuming that Christianity still exists.
I guess. Too. Yeah, it was just sort of, it threw me off for a little bit in the world, but I'm guessing that's the way it is. So yeah, obviously Riddick gets the better hand and is facing against Toombs in his ship, and he has this sort of thing where he goes, 3 things you did wrong, and that comes back later on.
It certainly does.
Yeah, so he heads to Helium Prime, back to brightness.
Yes, put on his goggles again.
Puts on his goggles for the first of a million times throughout the movie. We do see a little cutscene here of crematoria and a planet better named, I have not heard. It is a planet where the sun boils the surface during the day, and during the night it's pretty okay, actually.
Yeah, well, it gets down to minus like 70 degrees or something. So it gets pretty cold at night. So you have to be kind of in the transition period if you're outside. Otherwise, you'll freeze to death, or you will burn in 700 degrees centigrade temperatures, which I'd imagine is unpleasant.
Yeah. So we have it's a prison planet, and we have a cage sort of dropping off a female prisoner. We don't really see her a lot.
Jack.
Yeah, so it's obviously, as you can, if you're a follower from the first movie, it's obviously the Jack character who, what was she doing in the first movie quite quickly?
In the first movie, she's a stowaway in a ship. Now, for a little tiny bit of background, the first movie, there's a bunch of lads on a ship that crashes into a planet. They're all in hypersleep when they crash. But unfortunately, one of the passengers is a serial killer, or known as a serial killer, called Riddick. Anyway, Jack is a stowaway, pretending to be a boy in that one. Anyway, hilarity ensues. Everybody dies. Not by the hand of Riddick. He doesn't actually kill anybody. He does kill a lot of monster thingies and keeps pretty much everybody alive after telling them they're all going to die and he's not going to help them. So it's a story where he's got some sort of redemption arc of himself, which is actually quite good. And also, so Jack he feels personally responsible for Jack after the end of that one. Okay, so it's kind of important.
So Jack doesn't really play too much of does he save her a couple of times and stuff like that?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. He saves her from the bounty hunter, Johns, who wants to use her as bait to keep them all alive by sticking her on a rope and dragging them her dead corpse behind the main group of people.
Jeepers.
Riddick's like, right, that sounds possible, or I'll just kill you and use you.
Anyway, this is obviously Jack, if you had any inkling of what was going to happen in this movie. Riddick, he's in crypto sleep for the flight home, and he gets a vision of Furia, the planet where he's from. Furia is not mentioned in the first movie, right?
Not at all. He's just a freaky dude who seems really strong, and he's quite stabby.
Okay. So we land on Helium Prime. It's quite a bright planet, so the shades come back on again. And it's sort of found out that the Imam, who was in the first movie, right?
Yep.
He sort of betrayed him, but he has a reason for betraying him to get this bunch of lads after him, the mercs after him.
They put a bounty. Now, the Imam doesn't actually put the bounty on his head, which I had previously thought. It was actually Dame Judi Dench, the old witch, which has been referred to as a witch in this. Because she knows when she hears a story of him that he is a Furian, and the Furians are destined to save the universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
he's the last one.
Yeah, so there's a comet in the sky, and they see that as an omen, but it isn't really a comet, obviously.
No.
So Dame Dench plays Arian, who's a sort of elemental, so she's kind of wisping around. She can float around ethereally, and she comes into the scene and just sort of, they kind of probe and question Riddick's origin and give everybody the backstory of the Necromongers, so we
Show
didn't.
us your passport there, love.
So we get to know twice now that we know the Necromongers are a bad thing.
Yeah, they're not great. To be honest.
No. We see the Imam's family, and he obviously connects with the young daughter, or obviously has a flashback, I guess, to Jack.
Yeah, remembers Jack, but this freaks out the Imam because the last person you want to introduce to your family is somebody who's known as a serial killer and is extremely good at killing.
Yeah, yeah, true. So they come looking for him, the sort of ground troops on this planet, and we have this sort of, guess, the trope sort of flashing light fight scene. And before this happens, he says the immortal line,
"Hope you can see in the dark."
Yeah, something like that. Or are you afraid in the dark? Or hope you're not. Or are you afraid of the dark? Something like that.
I am Groot.
So we have this flashing light scene, and it happens quite a lot in the movie, where they do jump cut edits, and it looks stupid.
Yeah. Part of me just likes it, and part of me thinks it's supposed to depict Riddick's vision, because his eyes are absolutely bonkers. In that he doesn't like bright lights when doesn't have his goggles on, but he's very good at seeing contrast. So the flashy lights is maybe a nod to that.
Yeah,
that might be me being a bit too generous.
No, fair enough. That's a good explanation for it. It's good in this one because it does exactly what you just said. But later on, there's some jumps when they're in bright, and it's like, yeah, it was just kind of cheap. It's our early 2000s editing, I guess.
Yeah, I give you that.
Yeah. After that sort of fight, I think it's important to mention that Riddick holds a bit of a grudge against the Imam because he was meant to protect Jack.
Yeah.
And meant to save her.
Yeah.
And the Imam is saying to her, well, she never forgave you for leaving her. And he's like, I had to leave everybody. Everybody's just going to keep on chasing me. So he comes across unemotional, but he makes decisions for the best of people.
Best in him. He has a version of morals, and he sticks with it quite hard.
Yeah. Necromongers attack. It's a good scene. They've got cool ships with faces on them.
If I ever have my own army in space, I want my face all over every fucking ship. Everywhere. There's a handle on the ship to open the door. I want my face on it.
Everything is faces, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so there's they land, and there's thousands of them, and it's a good scene, and we've got a bit of a ship battle. It doesn't really finish or end. We see a bit of it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's quite Star Wars-esque, and very similar to, yeah, I got one, blah, 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 but that's about it. We don't see anything else happen. It's all on the ground then.
Yeah.
We have a sort of a tense situation where they're hiding in two different rooms, and the blue face searchers, what do you call them?
The lenser lads.
The lensers. They're really good, actually. The skeleton skulls. And
what I really liked about them is a cable coming out, a USB cable out the back with a Nintendo Switch that the lads used to look at.
Hang on, I have to fucking change the batteries.
Oh crap, I'm on the wrong level. Sorry, whose profile have I loaded? Oh.
Just switch the batteries around. It'll give you a bit more juice.
Oh, this is Mario Kart. Ah, crap. Anyway.
It was good. I liked the scene. Anyway, they have this interesting little mini version of their planet killer, a little blue grenade that they stick in the ground, and that's kind of cool. It just kills everybody.
This scene reminds me actually of the second Lord of the Rings movie, where Helm's Deep, where they have an orc charging towards the grate in the big wall with a bomb, and everybody around him is getting killed, and the only job that they have to do is to get him there, and he can die when he delivers it, which is what happens to the guy in this. He gets there, delivers the bomb, and the big light goes up in the air and kills everybody around.
Yeah. Kablam.
Kablamo. And then there's like 6 billion soldiers just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah. The Imam dies. He runs away to sort of get the focus off his wife and kid.
Fair play.
Yeah, and he's there. I think the first thing we notice of, they kill a lot of people, but they also are here to replenish the ranks, as they say.
Yeah, and I think the point is like they don't really mind losing loads of people, as shown by the lad with the bomb. They don't mind losing troops because they're going to replace them by taking the entire population of the planet and converting them, or killing, depending on which you choose.
They have a little threshold chant as well, which is kind of cute.
Oh, what's this? Sorry.
He mentions when the Lord Marshal is talking in the city hall type thing, when he mentions we have to replenishing the ranks now and you will obey, then he finishes the sentence with threshold, and his followers go, threshold, threshold. We all love thresholds. Or something like that. It wasn't we all love thresholds.
That would be amazing.
That would be good, yeah. So anyway, he does this soul-taking maneuver, which basically makes everybody kneel, go, yep, yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's terrifying. I'll do the thing that doesn't have that happening to me.
Yeah, so he kind of basically puts his hands on somebody and rips out their soul in sort of a greyish, ghostish sort of thing.
Yeah, which is, I suppose, meant to feel worse than death.
Yeah, because the body that's taken out from him, he's just staring, looking at it in shock, and just falls over. It's worth mentioning that because it is in the final scene as well, in quite a clever way, I guess.
Oh, because you can't do that with a Fury, I tell thee.
Oh no. Riddick has a little duel here, kicks the shit out of somebody, and Lord Marshall.
It's the guy who killed his buddy, the Imam. So he says, I'll come in. He comes in and goes, you want to join up? And he's like, nah, but I'll have a piece of that, man.
Yeah. Yoinks. Splat.
Stabby McStab.
Yeah.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Marshall says, take him before the Quasi-Deads, and Lady Vaco says, oh, I'll take you. Come on, come with me, love.
All right, love.
Yeah. So
Butcher's not impressed by that either. You can see him looking on.
No, so we have Vaco. He hasn't really a lot of lines yet. He's about to have a good lot of lines
he looks
coming
a bit
up.
sulky.
He's sulky. He's got ambitions of killing the Lord Marshal and taking his place, basically.
Well, the lady, I consider her just a retelling of Lady Macbeth. You should kill him when you get the chance. You know that. You have the power.
Yeah, I don't even know if he would be this sulky if she wasn't in his ear constantly going, yo.
Would you shut up? Swear to God, pub.
Would you ever? So anyway, these 4 Quasi-Deads are like going, yeah, this guy's furious, man. He's in trouble.
You should kill him, dude. What the hell's he doing it here?
Yeah. So Lord Marshall finally goes, can you kill this guy? But he escapes through one of the Quasi-Dead's little holes.
There's an important thing. I don't know if you blink, you missed it, but there's a scene where the priest of the Necromongers, he turns on the gravity for the Quasi-Dead to interrogate. So he's held down by a gravity field or whatever the hell it is. And when he figures out or he hears the word Furion, turns it off.
Oh, I did not.
Because he's like,
hello. That. Yeah.
You blink and you miss it. I only noticed it the second time watching it.
Very good. He was like, one of us. Yeah, that's good actually, because obviously that makes sense for the later scene.
Yeah, otherwise how the hell is he going to get out? Like he's glued down.
Yeah. Anyway, Toombs is back to
yeah, Riddick escapes, legs it down, laughing his ass off out the door, and Toombs is like, haha, you made a mistake there, didn't you?
Yeah, in the middle of a world invasion by 5 billion starships.
Not a great move for a mercenary. Mercenaries should be out to make the monies, the easy monies, and that doesn't look like easy money.
No, it's like, how did you dodge everybody and then come down and go, yoinks, we'll have you. But again, Riddick is 500 steps ahead. He's like he's basically willing him.
Along, lads.
Yeah, and then he basically twists his brain to take him to the crematoria because he wants to pick up Jack and figure out what's going on. So then we see Vaco twiddling his thumbs, thinking how can he usurp
turn this to my favor.
Yeah, his wife is in his ear, and then he's sneaking up behind the Lord Marshal.
Like, just a minor stabbing, don't you mind me?
Yeah, turns quickly, and so Vaco's going, I can't kill him ever.
Yeah, he's got literally eyes in the back of his head.
Yeah.
What am I going to do about that?
They sort of mention at the start of the movie he's half dead, half something else, or half alive, half something else.
I felt that way a few times.
After a skin full of points.
Certainly don't have eyes in the back of my head.
No, for sure. Anyway, Lord Marshal goes, Vaco, you go the hell after him. Get out of me. Get out of this.
Jog on, Vaco.
Jog on. That's your role. And they capture the elemental at the same time, and they're like going, "What do you think? Who's this dude?" And blah blah blah. I don't know. They kind of keep her for I don't know what reason. Like what's her power?
I think the Lord Marshal likes her. Well, not likes her, but uses her because she's able to predict the future. And she came up with the prophecy that he would be killed by a Furian, and apparently she doesn't lie or something like that. So he's keeping her around because she's kind of handy for information and shizzle.
And she can, like, if he loses his car keys down the back of the sofa, she can just...
She's like one of those, where's my phone app, or where's my...
Yeah, she can just float in and grab it with her ethereal limbs. Anyway, they're landing in crematoria. There's a silly cart ride, but I guess it's like a Disney ride or something.
Looks pretty fun, actually. Apart from the lad who got hip thrusted into the ceiling.
Yeah, that was good. That made the cart ride, actually, because it's like 30 seconds of them just sitting in a cart. Sort of.
Well, I enjoyed that scene very much because he kills the guy off. There's like a thud, and Toombs looks back, and Riddick just shrugs, goes, oh.
Yeah,
I don't know where he went.
Yeah. So
nice little touch.
So Riddick and Jack / Kira meet, and it's sort of weird because he sort of lifts her up from the crotch up, and that's what I was wondering. What was their relationship in the first thing? She was a kid.
Yeah, she was a kid. There was no sexual element to it in the first one. I don't really think there's a sexual element to it in this, but
it's a bit inappropriate.
It is a bit inappropriate. It doesn't feel great. Granted, she tried to stab him, so...
Yeah, I think he's showing his dominance, I guess.
Yeah.
Again,
he's a serial killer, let's remember that.
True. There are some shit jump edits in this sort of scene as well. So
yeah, he does a bit of a scene though where a bunch of lads come at him for fresh meat.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
and I got a little nod to the Watchman in this, where he should have shouted, "I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me."
Right. Yeah, it had that sort of vibe to it.
Yeah.
We have your buddy back in the Vaco ship. We have your buddy. I don't know what his name was. This something. He was the clergy or the priest or whatever. But he's like sowing doubts.
Purifier or something like that.
Yeah. The purifier. Because later on, when he dies, Lord Marshal goes, "I've lost the purifier, but I'm promoting you to whatever." Yeah.
Jobby McHead.
Yeah, but he's so at this moment in time in the movie, he's sort of putting seeds of doubt in Vaco's mind whether he can lead or whether the Lord Marshal is good enough.
Do you ever question your fate?
Yeah. So right at this point, then, like, without knowing what you told me earlier, like, obviously this dude is thinking a couple of steps ahead of everybody else as well. He knows that that Riddick will be a match.
Oh yeah,
more than a match.
He knows that Riddick's not going to die here, so he's playing a bit of a long game. He wants to have an old chat with Mr. Riddick. Somebody from the hometown,
Yeah. So we have at this point, we do have a sort of an exposition of Riddick's origin story and how the Lord Marshal killed all the Furia. And this is between Vaco and Wifey, basically. Yeah. I don't know why she's on the ship, but anyway, she went along for it. Then, so again, we have the purifier listening in. It kind of pans over, and he's listening into this conversation. So he's getting a lot of good shit here on this ship.
Yes. He is.
Yeah, it's feeding time on crematoria.
Yeah, well, this is one of the scenes that I didn't particularly like. The dog animation.
Yeah. It's 2004.
It's not awesome. I suppose it is 2004, but it's unnecessary. But how often can it be feeding time in a prison with not that many prisoners before it's, oh, we've run out of prisoners? Crap.
I had my brain turned off, so I didn't really question it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool.
It was probably a stupid thing to question the maths on it. It really was.
Yeah, we've got a kind of lizard cats coming in, 2 lizard cats.
I did like the scene where one lizard cat dog went eye to eye with Mr. Riddick.
Yeah.
Similar eyeballs. And then 30 seconds later, they're cuddling.
Hey, he's curled up and he's having a nice time being petted by Riddick. I was just wondering if those cat monsters were in the first movie at any point.
No, a very different monster in the first movie.
Yeah, I think I remember.
He gets a dog friend in the third movie, so that's a nice sort of
John Wick in space.
That's exactly it. Likes his dogs. Don't fuck with his dog.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing these 2 creatures are originally from Furia. Maybe, who knows? Same eyeballs.
They do, but then the Purifier doesn't have the same eyeballs. So I think these were additions that Mr. Riddick had stuck in at some point.
The Purifier was taken away at a young age, so he didn't have time to evolve his eyeballs to care about seeing in the dark.
I don't think Riddick spent any real time on Furia, so perhaps the same thing.
Yeah, probably when he got replenishing into the ranks, he probably lost his eyeball glimmer.
Fell out.
Yeah.
His eyes fell out. The contacts came out.
Yeah. The teacup scene is great.
Yeah. What are you doing with that? It's teacup. You gonna kill me with it? Yeah. It's a coffee. Could kill me with that coffee cup. No, I'm gonna kill him with my teacup.
Splonk.
And he does.
He does kill him, yeah. That's good. That's a good scene.
It reminded me of the Rusty Spoon scene in
The Rusty Spoon.
Name the movie.
I don't know. I don't know why it's ringing a bell. Rusty Spoons. Oh,
not Sherlock Holmes. Robin Hood.
Oh, right.
Prince of Thieves.
Prince of Thieves, yeah. So anyway, Kira and Riddick have a chat after the teacup killing scene, and it's a back and forth. They're still sort of circling around each other about what she did. Why did she leave? Why did she go with mercenaries?
Why did you drop out of school? Goddammit!
Yeah, the equivalent of you promised you would go to uni.
Yeah, you got into fucking Yale. Why did you drop it?
Yeah. Anyway, we've got a good scene coming up.
Mom, I wanted to be a killer.
We've got a good scene coming up because Toombs and his shitty crew are up with the prison guards going, give us more money. That's why we're staying here another day. So the prison guards going, well, I got good news and bad news. Good news, we can give you 75,000 more. Bad news, there's a fucking ship coming.
Looks like somebody's head.
Yeah.
It's not a good sign.
Some big fucking head's coming. What the fucking hell? Get out the fuck. Anyway. Yeah. But
shit kicks off.
Yeah, there's a big fight upstairs. Lots of guns being shot. Nobody seems to be hit at all for a while.
Yeah. Then rocket launchers and explodies, and somebody broke the cart. God damn it.
The Mario Kart. Actually, it's more of a Crash Bandicoot cart, I thought. If you remember that level.
I do indeed. Yeah. It was hit by a blue shell. Not that was in Crash Bandicoot.
Toombs tries to leg it down the rope, which is stupid. It's because that's going down into the prison, and
yeah, that's not a great move.
No,
and your buddy's down there.
Yeah, Riddick's looking at him, going, "Should have taken the money, Toombs."
Climbs over him.
He
doesn't kill him, which I thought originally watching the movie. I thought, well, this guy's definitely dead.
Yeah, that's so weird. Yeah. So anyway, this is sort of all very culminating scenes, one after the other, which is kind of kept me going and didn't really make me bored. Basically,
yeah. The pace is very well set, actually.
Yeah. So now we have the security guards are running down the tunnels to get to the ship, the only ship that's left. we're gonna have to go up to the surface and chase the shadows and beat the sun.
The Bernie dead surface? Oh, God.
All right, let's go. Well, they're basically saying, well, stay here and die or go up there and try to not die.
Yep, you only got one speed. My speed.
So they do go on a bit of a night run, and it gets to the point where a bead of sweat appears in one of the runners, and that's when you know shit's getting real.
Uh-oh, mornings are coming.
And also, even just when this isn't tense enough, we also have there's a guy on the staff, and he sniffs out trouble, literally.
Yeah, he's got a nose for trouble.
He's got a nose,
and he's always right, according to this movie.
Yeah, and so they've got little peepee holes, and they pop up and shoot at them, and that causes a bit more tension. But Riddick knows shit, and he's up on top and smacks somebody in the head with a chain or something.
He's got a block of metal on a rope, and smacks Sniffy McSniff in the face.
Yeah, boom. No sniffing for you.
No more sniffing for you. No more face for you.
Yeah. So at this moment, they're in the volcano fields. We have they're shooting, and it adds a bit more, rackets up the tension a bit, but doesn't get anybody. I don't think. Maybe they kill one. Can't remember.
They got one of the prisoners, but nobody really cared.
No, it was a small part. So anyway, big cliff. Not Cliff Richards, just Big Cliff. Big. Yeah, so they have a massive cliff to scale, and as they're going up, the sun just comes up and goes yoinks. We'll have some of that. So Riddick and the chief dude and another dude make it to the top. Yeah. But Kira is down at the bottom, and this spectacular save doesn't make any sense, but he does it with a rope.
Yeah, that makes no sense at all. And the 5 minutes when they were talking about getting the rope, she should have been bloody climbing.
I just didn't understand at this point what the temperature was, because he goes out and just puts water over himself and he's fine. There's no burns or anything. Yeah,
well, it gives him the chance to be steaming in the next scene.
Yeah.
He's like covered in water, so his muscles are all glistening. So he looks well hard,
Look, I think
that's the whole point of it.
Yeah. It was good. It was a good...
it makes no sense. It's stupid, but it's still a good scene.
No, it was a good timeline of events, which kind of racked up the sort of, you're into the second half of the movie at this stage, maybe. Like maybe into the last quarter.
Yeah, maybe. Last quarter.
Kinda. Anyway, the Necromongers arrive, and we have more sort of tense situation. They're up on the cliff at the same time as the guards are opening up the hangar doors, and we have the blue mask seekers, as you call them, the Nintendo Wii scuba divers.
Nintendo
Switch scuba divers. They sniff out the cliff
Wii
people.
They're definitely Wii U's.
Wii U's. It looks like they've got Wii in their masks. No, joking. So they sniff the cliff people. So they're kind of, a whole bunch of soldiers go up to the cliff to chase them, and then the others fight
and the guards jump out and there's guns and everybody's dead.
Yeah, so it's basically just a whole bunch of shoosting, and it's a big fight, and
all the prison guards are toast, and it's basically just a few necro lads, and Riddick kills a bunch of them. Only gets knocked unconscious.
Yeah, and just yeah, it's the second time he has a sort of a vision. Was that woman in the vision in the first movie? Who is she? Who was she? Just a Furia ancestor, probably.
I guess so. I didn't really figure out how the hell she was in it.
Yeah, so he's down on the ground, and he basically puts out a pulse of energy or whatever. He doesn't kill anybody because Butcher is still alive. So he has a big vision, a big kaboom, and then a big rescue from the blondie guy from the purifier. Yep. So all the rest of them are going, I'm getting out of here because the sun has come up. It's all very chaotic and crazy. And Kira's up near the sort of ship, and so she's like,
she gets a lift with the Mongers.
Yeah, she sort of has to stow away with them. She has no other choice, basically. So this is when the blondie is inside. I like the way he's taking off all this jewelry and just being very calm and saying, so I have a message from the Lord, stay away.
But as a Furian, I really want you to not stay away.
Yeah, he's got the same hand glowy thing that Riddick does on his chest. Did he have that hand glowy thing in the first movie?
No.
Okay, so it's an evolution of his backstory and who he is. Blondie walks into the sun.
Yep, he's done.
He's done.
I think because his brain's been kind of half melted, and he's like, I'm sick of this crap.
Yeah, and he kind of knows. Well, he could have just gone with Riddick and been his purified left-hand man, you know? But
He could have.
But he didn't. He roasted himself instead.
He went for a suntan.
Yeah. That was a good scene. That was the end of a good culmination of from breaking out of the prison all the way to this was a good set piece of action. So we head back to Hillian Prime because unfinished business. Vaco is the first commander. Wifey is still in his ear. The elemental is, you know, the Lord Marshal is always asking the elemental, "Oh, what are the odds?
Is he dead yet?" And she's like, "Nah, he's coming. Don't you worry about it."
Yeah, it's like,
Lord Marshal's not exactly delighted with that news.
She does a great answer. She goes, "The odds are good. You'll see the underverse or something like that, or you'll reach the underverse," which could mean anything, or you're going to die, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, so we have a little thing because now Riddick puts the Imam's necklace on his widow's and daughter's door.
Just a bit of a nod to say, "Don't worry too much. I'm on the job."
Yeah, I'm back. So at this moment in time, Lord Marshal's going, "Yo, let's nuke this planet. Let's go."
Yeah,
Riddick, though.
Big bomb this time. Big bomb.
The big bomb one, the big blue bomb with the big heads.
The final protocol, I think the Lord Marshal called it.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
That sounds kind of...
Oh, I have that written down. Kind of does, yeah. Final protocol. Riddick is dressed as a soldier. Brushes past Wifey, and Wifey's going, "Oh,
she cops it. She's like, what? Wait a second.
Yeah.
That guy felt familiar."
Yeah. And so she's like going crazy, going back to Vaca, going, "Oh, this is your time.
You didn't kill him, you turnip.
Yeah, you left him.
Doubly your problem."
Yeah. But she's going, "Listen, just let him do his job. Let him," and then you jump in for the kill, basically.
Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. One of the Lenser dudes seeks out Riddick, and Riddick
gets his neck snapped for the...
Riddick snaps his neck for that.
"I don't like your Nintendo shit."
Yeah. I'm more of a Sega person myself.
Oh, controversial.
Yeah. Anyway, we kind of jump to a scene where the Lord is in the middle of this room with everybody bustling around going, and I was like, why is he in the middle of the public? Riddick tries to jump on him, doesn't.
Oh, but Mr. Lord Marshal is kind of speedy. He's Sonic. He is Sega.
Yeah, it is. It's an old metaphor from Nintendo versus Sega.
That's exactly it, yeah.
Nobody's ever
He's
thought
spinning
of that.
there on the spot, waiting for Mario to jump at him.
Yeah. And when you kill him, all the golden rings fall out of him.
You keep what you kill.
Yeah. So anyway, he tries to kill the Lord Marshal, but he's too Sonic-y. Kira is beside him, and she is, in quotation marks, converted. Are you with me, Kira?
How many times does he say this? Like 12?
Yeah, a lot of times.
Seriously, Kira, are you with me? Jesus, Kira, come on.
She just walks out, basically. Yep. And so then we have a sort of... he's talking to the Lord Marshal, and then he just suddenly chucks a knife at him, and it's very Trump-esque, really, isn't it?
It is, really, isn't it? It's exactly the same wound.
Yes.
It was freaky.
I was like, oh my God.
Well, yeah, and I'd forgot about that, but it was exactly the same thing. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, I won't go into that in any detail, but it was just kind of freaky that coincidence there.
He's got a little nick on his ear, but it was interesting that Riddick could actually throw it that fast.
Time I've seen my blood in years.
Yeah, that's a good line. Dan shows up to witness.
She's like, "Oi, oi, is it going to be a scrap?"
Oi, oi. Talking about oi, oi, we're sort of in this sort of fight between...
Butcher's turning up now.
Butcher's up at the top with Wifey going, "Chill out, wait for your time."
Hanging out with a 3-headed axe, because everybody needs not one, not two, but three heads on your axe, because, you never know when 2 is not enough.
Some project designer went, "I'll show them how to make a sci-fi axe." It's like a razor blade. How many blades do you need?
Yeah,
One.
it was ridiculous. But anyway, that's kind of immaterial.
Yeah, it's a decent fight. It's not crazy. It's not the best fight scene you'll ever, like the one between the Lord and Riddick. It's a back and forth. He gets a bit in him. He's flashing around like Sonic, and
Getting his soul zapped though at the end.
he's slowly getting his soul zapped out, and you can.
Then he says, "Nah, mate, you're not sapping my soul." And uppercuts him for his efforts.
Yeah, fuck you, fuck you.
Jog on, buddy.
Yeah, and so then Kira jumps out of nowhere,
Stabby.
stabs him in the back of the head, literally, right?
Yeah. But he's only winded by this. He's still, still super fast.
Right. So
Now it's time for Macbeth. I mean, Vaco.
Vaco jumps down going, or the wife goes, now's the time.
She's right. It is the time.
It is the time, yeah. But just
but
not
still
fast enough.
Still got some sonic power. Unfortunately, he sonics into the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And this is a great kill. I like this scene because there's fear on both ends. He's kind of stretched, the Lord Marshal. He's stretched across the hall from where Vaco's trying to hit him with many heads of an axe. To where he arrives at Riddick, who's holding a blade, waiting for this exact moment, and sticks it on top of his head. The fear in his head from the guy leaving, and the fear in the head from the guy arriving. And he goes dunk and just breaks it off, which is a nice little touch.
Yeah,
it's a good scene. I like the scene.
Yeah, it's a good scene. That's a good ending. Like it's. I was thinking about Dungeons and Dragons end scene where it's just like, blah, it's just boring. This was good, interesting. Lots of different moving parts to it. You're waiting, like Vaco is up in the wings, and you're wondering, oh, he's going to come down at some point. Is Riddick going to have to fight him too?
Nope.
Vaco
ain't that stupid.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Kira was pushed off and impaled herself on a spike.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that bit.
Yeah, she finishes off her arc, which I'm always with you or something.
No, you're not. You're dead.
Don't ruin the spiritualness of the scene.
Yes, it's a nice one, last line.
The interesting thing is now that Riddick is so tired he just plumps into the throne.
Or he looks up, everybody's kneeling, and he's like, interesting. They didn't expect that at all today.
And then he remembers a line that was said earlier on in the movie.
Keep what you kill. Was that one?
That's it. Fade to black.
Hey.
Well done. You got a line correct in the 76th episode.
Every now and then I get something right.
That's it. That's Chronicles of Riddick. And I was a bit off kilter with my schedule this week, just with seeing a movie. So I sort of watched it last night at the last minute, and I was like, it's going to be sort of shit and not boring, but it's going to be kind of idiotic. But I enjoyed it.
See, I'll admit I've seen this movie a couple of times before, but I like crap sci-fi. Sometimes turn the brain off, action sci-fi, lads running around the place, things exploding. I'm down for that, I got my wife to watch this last night, just as a control, as a scientific control on this. She really enjoyed it.
That is good. And she doesn't. Oh, she likes sci-fi though.
Yeah, not like me. I watch rubbish, and I enjoy rubbish quite often. So this movie, in my opinion, then is not rubbish.
That's true. All right, let's get on to grading stuff then. I've just sort of put it in right now because, like, it's not in the grand scheme of things. I'm not going to push it into high mid threes or anything. I'm giving the plot 2.75. I'm not going to give it 2.5 because I enjoyed the plot and I want to give it slightly above average.
I give it 2.5. The plot, the story is fine. It's not exactly groundbreaking and it's not exactly bad, so I couldn't give it either side of that.
I gave the acting 3 because I actually for such just a sci-fi movie. I thought like Vin Diesel is Vin Diesel, but all the rest of the actors were good. I
Yeah.
enjoyed their performances. The Lord Marshall's great, very sort of hammy, uber acting his role. I thought Butcher was good.
Yeah, the budget was good. I give it 2.75. I find it hard to give this movie a higher grade. Like as you say, everybody does their jobs very well. But the material's fine. It's just not a lot to bite into in terms of range here.
Yeah. Tandy Newton and Carl Urban were good as a couple.
A power couple, as my wife said.
That is a good description. Sound brackets track I gave 2.5. If you think of a sci-fi movie from the early 2000s, this is what it is. There's loud noises and loud orchestral scores, and that's it. That's what you get.
It borrows a lot from the first movie in terms of sound, which isn't a bad thing. It's thematic, so it carries the main theme from the first movie into the second one, which is important. And I imagine, I can't remember the team track or soundtrack from the third movie, but I think it's something similar.
Oh, I would say so. I think the third movie, I read the description, he's just on another planet again.
Yeah, he's on another planet, and mercenaries come to get him.
I thought he was the king of the Necromongers.
Yeah, it turns out that being the head of a religion doesn't work for him all that well, and they kick him out.
Yeah, Vaco is now the...
Because, Vaco's like, yeah, you don't believe in any of this crap, do you? And he's like, no. And he's like, oh, okay, get out then.
Cheerio.
Like, okay.
Yoinks. All right, so...
That's pretty much it. And he kills a bunch of mercenaries, and then there's monsters, and he kills all of them.
Okay. So they went back to the first one.
The dad of the mercenary who he doesn't actually kill, he doesn't kill, but leaves to die with the monsters in the first movie. And he comes to kill Riddick as revenge, but then gets to know why Riddick left his son to die, because his son was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And they become best buds until somebody kills him or something. I don't know. But he saved John's, the mercenary, saves his life at the end of that.
What I read today must have been about that. It wasn't about this movie being the John's son being in this movie.
Yeah, there's a connection between the first and the third in that respect. And the first and the third movie are more similar.
Sounds like it.
Oh, yeah.
What are you giving the sound brackets track, by the way?
2.5. Yeah, I agree with you. It's generic 2004 sci-fi tunes.
Yeah, tunes. I'm giving production 3. Screw it. I think it was good. I thought with the staging, the scenery, the costume. I think I haven't mentioned the costumes. I thought we've mentioned the head spaceships, but every one of them had great like metal helmets, and obviously the Lord Marshal had a 3-headed helmet as well.
That's awesome. It's over the top ridiculousness, but it kind of fits.
Yeah,
you can't have a collection of people called the Necromongers and not have them look ridiculous.
No. And death-like. Yeah. They formed, and I can't remember the Italian sculpture, but they formed the masks after a Italian sculpture from the 19th century. And if you Google them, it's sort of, that's what it is. Can I remember the name? No. So just check out Italian sculpture, Google Italian sculpture Riddick, and you'll find it.
You'll find out.
Yeah. What do you give in the production?
I put down 3.25 on this. Again, I quite like the production of this. I like the scenery, especially on the crematoria, the prison planet.
Yeah, it was good.
I like how that's shot, and it's all special effects, obviously, but I love the visuals in that one. And that particular part of the movie is reflective of the first movie and how it's shot and how it looks.
Yeah, I think if they did the lizard cats any better, it might be a better score. But everything else was good.
The doggies didn't need to happen. They were weak CGI. I guess it's hard to look back. It's 20 years since this movie came out, so things have moved on a bit.
I think sometimes as well the spaceships coming into land looked a bit dodgy as well, but that's nitpicking.
Which 20-year-old technology.
Yeah, back then? What was it? Probably what computer processors were around 20 years ago.
The Amiga Toast machine back
Yeah,
then.
probably. That was a lot of sci-fi TV shows to use the Amiga Toast system. Babylon 5.
That's the one.
They used Amiga Toast. David Rooney in Variety gave it 20 out of 100. May not quite gain entry to the hollowed pantheon of interstellar cheese of a Battlefield Earth, but it's not far behind.
Oh, that's harsh. Battlefield Earth is one of the worst movies ever made. This is way better than that.
Devin Gordon in Newsweek said, Twohy knows how to shoot tense bare-knuckle action, and his towering gunmetal grey world is a fun sandbox to play in for 2 hours.
Yeah, I would agree completely.
Good. All right.
And I'd like to end with one thing about this movie. Do not watch it without watching the first movie. Because the first movie is superior in pretty much every way, but still watch this movie because it's actually, if you want to turn your brain off, have a beer, watch some people running around in space, stabbing each other, hey, it's a good time.
I kind of did. I remember I did watch Pitch Black, but my memory of it is minimal. But I knew who Riddick was and what his powers were. But to be honest with you, it does a lot of background exposition in this that really doesn't matter. And they do a lot of flashbacks too and backstory
True. And it's filling in some backstory that doesn't come from the first movie either.
True. Yeah. It goes right back to his origin, and that's fine.
And I think the third movie adds 0 to the origin of Riddick. But the fourth movie is called Furia. So I'm guessing
really?
We're going right back to the roots there.
Oh, man, that'll be interesting. Maybe it'll be the Necromonger sort of invasion, but maybe like a Rogue One sort of thing. You know what's going to happen, but how did they get there?
So I'm quite interested in that one.
So maybe Vin Diesel won't be starring in that, but maybe just
producing his name's down first. He's the only actor's name on it. So.
And
maybe it's Twohy again directing. So Twohy's going to direct or have directed all 4 movies.
Yeah, he loves
he loves a bit of Riddick.
He loves the Riddick. All right, well, let's suck the soul out of this episode, right?
Yep.
Let's roll around.
Snap the knife off in its head.
Another one. Let's roll the dice here for the next random movie. And we get random movie number 601.
Whoa, that's a very small number.
And what we have for random movie 601 is a direct connection to somebody in this movie or involved in this movie. We have The Fugitive.
Fugitive. Who was in that?
Harrison Ford. Tommy Lee Jones.
Vin Diesel?
No, it's written by David Twohy.
Okay, cool.
It's directed by Andrew Davis, who directed Holes, directed Under Siege, and a lot of other B movies. Chain Reaction with our buddies Keanu Reeves and Morgan Freeman. Collateral Damage.
Oh, okay. Well, The Fugitive seems to be the best.
Have you ever watched The Fugitive?
The one-hour man guy? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a good movie. I'm enjoying it.
It's a great movie. Yeah. Well, it's the first time I thought Tommy Lee Jones was actually a great actor, and he's very good in this.
Jeb Stewart, who co-wrote this with David Twohy, wrote Die Hard as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Roy Higgins. Oh, yeah, they're just crediting Roy Higgins because he wrote the original The Fugitive from the 60s.
Okay, so there was a screenplay they wrote based on a book or something, was it? Or a movie?
Movie back in the 60s, yeah. Summary is adapted from the popular 1960s television. This is the story of Dr. Richard Kimball, Harrison Ford, who has been falsely accused and convicted of his wife's murder. I maybe have watched this a couple of times, but it would have been probably 20 years ago since I last watched it.
Yeah, I remember watching this in secondary school.
Well, it's the famous...
Loving it.
The famous water dam scene.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Pipe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good scene.
I'm innocent. I don't care.
Yeah. It'll be good.
Great line.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that, actually. That's a blast from the past. I think I suspect this will hold up well. I hope it holds up well.
I think so, unless Kevin Spacey turns up as the killer at the end.
Hello, lads. Oh, no, not
Oh, God. Yeah. All right, cool. That'll be fun to watch and a good addition to our oeuvre of episodes. If you have not rated or reviewed our podcast on any of the platforms you listen to us on, please do that immediately. Do it now while I'm talking. Just do it. It's just going to take a click or two. Email us if you've got any top 10 movie lists to our email address in the description below. And we'll see you on the next episode. See you then. Bye-bye.
Ciao.